Good morning, One Life America. Thank you for joining us. It's Monday, November the 3rd. 2 months left in the physical year of 2014, and we're excited about what the rest of this year has to hold for us. The purpose for the call is to stay plugged in, stay connected, and get informed, and excited that you're all here with us this morning. You are all on mute and will remain on mute until the end of the call, when we'll open the lines for a question and answer session. Very excited to have our guest devotion speaker this morning, Mr. Steve Taylor. He's been with One Life for about a year or so now, and I first met Steve when he attended an academy about this time last year. His smile and personality is infectious. Mr. Taylor travels and tours with a gospel quartet on the weekends named Beulah Land Quartet. Talked to him a few minutes ago. He's a little hoarse from all the singing this weekend, but he's got a gallon of water beside him, I think, and he is going to make it through. My relationship started on a good note with Steve when we shared a Diet Coke together, very similar to a commercial, if you will. But we're honored to have Mr. Steve Taylor on the phone and have our devotion for us today. Mr. Taylor, are you with us?
All right. Thank you very much, David. I appreciate you allowing me to have this opportunity. Can everybody hear me okay?
Everybody's muted, but I'm sure they can.
Okay. All right. As long as you can hear me. Okay. I just want to take just a couple of minutes this morning to talk to you about the impact of one. Romans 12, verses 4 and 5 says, just as our bodies have many parts, and each part has a special function, so it is with Christ's body. We are many parts of one body, and we all belong to each other. Now, there's a lot we can say about all of us belonging to one life and everything there, but I'm going to go a little bit different route. When it comes to contemporary heroes of our Christian faith, we're familiar with names like Billy Graham. I don't think there'll be anybody on anywhere who wouldn't know the name of Billy Graham. But what about a man by the name of Edward Kimball or Mordecai Ham? Edward Kimball was a shoe salesman. He worked alongside a guy named Dwight. Edward, as he worked, he shared the gospel with Dwight, and Dwight accepted Christ. It was 1858, and Dwight's last name was Moody. We know him as D.L. Moody, who was one of the greatest evangelists in history. Years later, when Moody was preaching, a pastor named Frederick D. Meyer was so deeply stirred, and as a result, he went into his own nationwide preaching ministry. And there was one occasion when Meyer was preaching that a young college student named J. Wilbur Chapman heard him, and he too accepted Christ. He went out, he began to share the gospel, and he hired a young baseball player by the name of Billy Sunday, who had a very promising career in the major leagues. And Billy Sunday ended up being actually the greatest evangelist of his generation. When Billy Sunday preached the gospel in Charlotte, North Carolina, we're told that it was such a great meeting that he was invited back. But he couldn't be there. There was a conflict, and he wasn't able to be there. So he recommended a preacher, and that preacher's name was Mordecai Ham. If you'll remember, early on I asked about that name. Mr. Ham went to Charlotte, and he preached, but there weren't many people who responded to his invitation. He gave an invitation to accept Christ. Not many people responded. But on one of the very last nights of that meeting, there was a tall, lanky boy who worked on a local dairy farm, and he got out of his seat, and he walked forward under that tent. Everyone knew him as Billy Frank, but we know him today as Billy Graham. Now, what am I saying? Edward Kimball reached D.L. Moody, who touched Frederick Meyer, who reached Wilbur Chapman, who helped Billy Sunday, who reached businessmen in Charlotte who invited Mordecai Ham, who ultimately reached Billy Graham. And it all began with one person making a simple witness, and that person was Edward Kimball. Now, every one of us can make a difference for the kingdom of God, even as we go about our work, even as we start our work week this week. Our work is to help people plan for the final expenses. We refer to it as the worst day of a person's life. And we may never know what that one touch will accomplish until we get to heaven. And then have that person and then all the people that they touch walk up to us and say, thank you. Now, all of us on this call today have a job. And that job is selling final expense insurance to people who desperately need it. That's our job. But while you're going about doing your job, what is God calling you to do? Let's all go out this week and not only make a difference in sales and make a difference for one life, but let's see if we can find one person that we can make a difference in their personal life, even if we don't get the sale, because there is a abundance of power in one person. That's the impact of one. Let's pray. Father, thank you for this day that you've given us. Thank you for the privilege we have to work with such an awesome company. And I thank you, dear Lord, that it doesn't take, as the saying goes, it doesn't take a village. It only takes one. And so I pray that as we go about our work this week, that we will look for opportunities, even in a sale, and even if we don't make the sale, we could look for an opportunity to make a difference in someone's life and then allow the domino effect to fall. And so just bless everyone in their week this week, and I pray you'll bless Brother David, all the home office staff. Thank you for Mr. Parker for this great opportunity, and thank you for this day you blessed us with. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you much, Brother Taylor. I really appreciate you joining us this morning. It's good to be reminded that sometimes, just sharing our vision and our blessings with one individual can trickle down and affect a number of people's lives. So thank you so much for that. I want to touch on a few things real quick. Production updates in the week of 10/20 through 10/24. Obviously, we're 2 weeks in arrears. $439,000 of submitted annual premium by One Life. Our top 10 producers for that particular week. Number one, Mr. Timothy McCabe with $11,651 of premium. Kenny Conwell with $10,324 of submitted annual premium. Scott Shattuck with $7,593. Ashley Paget with $7,098 of submitted premium. Shane Gore, $6,930 of submitted premium. Glenn Gerard, $6,286. Lisandro Zuniga, $6,218 of submitted annual premium. Christian Watford, $6,213 of submitted premium. Ken Parker Jr. with $6,190, and Jimmy Files with $6,167 of submitted annual premium. Also, with 2 physical months left in this year, wanted to recap our year-to-date production for the company and top 10 agents there as well. So far, as of 2 weeks ago, and this is through 10/27, company-wide submitted annual premium is $20,259,400 of submitted AP. Number one in the company year-to-date, Timothy McCabe with $286,665 of submitted premium. Steve Thornton with $265,779. Javier Rodriguez, $264,486. Brandon Smotherman, $251,588. Ken Parker Jr., $221,199. Keith Reel, $212,681 of submitted AP. Robin Cano, $202,784. Keith Johnson, $196,054 of submitted annual premium. Shane Burnett with $190,120 of submitted annual premium. And Chris Reed rounding out the top 10, $188,711 of submitted annual premium. November recruiting will kick off tomorrow, so be prepared if you've got your areas in through email blast, career builders, all of our recruiting sources. Those will launch tomorrow morning, so get your tennis shoes on because we're going to be wide open between now and mid-December. And then we'll kick it back in full gear January 1. The newsletter is available at onelifeamerica.com. If you haven't read it, make sure to catch up on the latest One Life news there. Make sure to listen to the podcast from Derek Moore. His series is listed at onelifeamerica.com/Derek Moore. We're also reviewing his Monday motivational video. That should be available shortly as well. I want to cover a few things, and Adam Stewart and myself are going to tag team today's call to cover marketing strategies, recruiting, and then Adam's role as our Director of Agent Onboarding and Retention, and how these can play a big part in what you're doing and what you aspire to be if team building is something you want to do. First, I want to take a quick look at all of our ways to stay connected, and this is important for you as a manager, you as a veteran agent, as a new agent, and your new agents, to get them plugged into a system, to get them keyed in and keep them up to date and informed and feel connected. You know, obviously we have our Facebook page. This is where you'll find pictures, a lot of fun stuff. It's more of a fun social media outlet, if you will. We do have some important news we blast through there, but it's a good way to feel connected. That comes up on your stream once you follow that, if you like the One Life Facebook page. We do blast some informational news through our Twitter feed. We have a series of videos through our YouTube channel. Our Leadership Summit videos are there on the playlist, as well as all of our recorded conference calls from each Monday. One thing you need to do is be familiar with the One Life website. This helps you in your recruiting efforts, so you can reference certain pages, certain links, or certain places they need to go, where they need to go to register for an academy. So make sure that you're well aware of everything that exists on the One Life website. And Jonathan Bowles and myself are working right now to add in some new videos. We're going to be recording some new videos the 1st of December. So each of our pages have a short video, agency building, incentive programs. We've got several new videos on the horizon, so watch for those come mid-December. Derek Moore's leadership webpage, onelifeamerica.com/Derek Moore. This is where you'll find his blogs, his podcast, his Monday's motivational video. A lot of great tools. Derek is a great resource of ours with the stature that he has and his experience at a professional level in football, and just him as a guy. I mean, he is an absolute amazing guy to be around, and that's the kind of person that you want your new agents to be connected with as well. Have a couple of cool new tools that are coming out. I'll be launching emails today, so watch in your inbox for information on our new text messaging communication system. This is going to be a great way for us to communicate information about conference calls. We've used the LinkedIn feature, the Twitter feature, but we're going to gravitate toward using this new service. During the month of November, we're going to hold a drawing for a $100 gas card for those who join our text group during the month of November. So if you join the group during this month, then you're automatically put into a raffle for a $100 gas card. All you have to do is text OLA, like One Life America, the abbreviation for OLA. You want to text that to the number 51660. That's 51660. So join in, stay connected. I know a lot of you are in the roadways. Your schedules are all over the place, so this is a good way, because I know all of you have a mobile phone with you to get those messages right there on your mobile device. Also, you'll see an email today in your inbox. One Life Store will now be available. This is where you can go purchase shirts, polo shirts, and a nice long sleeve dress shirt. We have two styles of polo style shirts. We have a Nike and a Port Authority. in men's and women's. There are going to be several color options available. We'll also have a very nice dress shirt in 2 color options for each men and women's. And women's, I've got you a pink version on there. I think you'll like it. So make sure to watch your inbox for information on the One Life store. You can go on there, you can shop, you can buy, and it can be drop shipped directly to your house. Now, the service is not an inventory kept in stock, so it takes a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks for you to get your order in. But go online, order today, and get your One Life apparel sent directly to your house. 2014 Distinguished Clubs and National Sales Convention. Well, make sure to finish the year strong. Like I've mentioned earlier, we have 2 months left. One thing that you can do, we've completed week 43. The production reports come out tomorrow, and the business turned in submitted today and last week completes week 43. You have 9 weeks left in this year. Figure out what you need to produce on a weekly average to make the trip or to make the next level if you've already made the trip. And set that goal. Shoot for it. So go in 9 weeks. What production do you need on a weekly basis to get there? We're already working on the 2016 trip location and hope to roll out all the details by early February at the latest. So just to put a plug in there, watch for the information coming here in the next couple of months. We're excited about planning for the 2016 trip. I think everyone will be excited about what the plans are. Recruiting. Really want to spend a few minutes talking about our recruiting efforts and if you aspire to be a team builder, because recruiting is not for everyone. But if you look for an income stream outside of personal production, this is one way to do it. This is a large way to do it. By recruiting, hiring, bringing people on board, using the recruiting resources here at the home office. First of all, warm market recruiting. It's a proven source for new recruits. What you're looking for in a warm market, and because we call it warm market, it's somebody that you touch, somebody that you see face-to-face prior to a cold call or an inbound inquiry because they read an advertisement or saw something online or got an email or a postcard. It's somebody that you touch, that you smile at, that you warm up to, and you make a connection. What you're looking for? Somebody that needs a break, somebody that's in a dead-end job but has a great personality. Someone in your church that's expressed, their job situation to you or to your pastor or to whoever. A friend who has a stressed job or is in a dead-end job and tells you about it. That's an open door to say, don't know if you've ever considered the insurance industry, but I'd love to show you what I do. A car salesman or any salesman for that matter. Any of these individuals, a great way to spend time in the recruiting process with them is ask them to spend one day of their life and get in the car with you and ride on appointments. Show them what you do. Spend time with them. Let them see the process. Let them see appointments being set if you have time, going to appointments and sitting down at the kitchen table with seniors and how you help them. And at the end of the day, show them that the income you generated. Also, we have corporate recruiting resources. This is something you must direct with or discuss rather with your upline manager. Talk about your desires and what you're looking to get out of recruiting process. So talk with your upline manager for use of the corporate recruiting avenues. Here's a few of the ways that we recruit. Direct mail. We're doing very, very limited direct mail drops. There's a large expense there, but it's a way to touch people by getting something into their mailbox. Also, email blast. We have a thorough email that goes out. We actually email out roughly 150,000 individuals per month. So we're getting our email. Now, it's kind of easy to delete an email and move on to the next thing. But I have found that people will let an email sit in their inbox longer than I anticipated. And sometimes they call 2, 3, 4 weeks later on. We also utilize Career Builder. This is a way to broadcast to a general audience, not just a licensed agent audience. But we get our information out there as a thorough advertisement as well. It gives bullet points to the free lead platform, what we're looking for, free coverage, incentive programs, training that a lot of people are looking for. So we use Career Builder. We also have the ability, because we have a contract with Financial Media Group, to pull a list of licensed agents. And we can filter that licensed agent list down for you pretty much any way you want. We can get very specific as to the market that you'd like to touch with. And you can send emails, you can make phone calls, you can do a number of different things. The marketing department pre-screens the inbound emails and phone calls from our advertisements. We do a lot of listening as well as explaining the One Life program. We're listening for people who share their successes, people who have always had a hard time with everything that they've done. We're looking for different things that help us trigger us to understand which direction we need to go with the conversation. We've verified their commitment level. We want to make sure that this is not something they want to do on Saturdays only or part-time. We're really looking for those who are wanting to do this full-time and have a commitment level. The main goal is for us to find those individuals that want to focus 4 days a week to work in our LEAD program. We make sure they can travel. Make sure they have dependable transportation. They have a support group at home that is okay with them traveling. So we want to make sure that they're not going to have an issue down the road if they get leads a little ways away from their house. We make sure that they are looking for full-time, and we introduce them to a massive line. We don't want to introduce our program to their massive line of insurance products. We're wanting them to focus on final expenses and get out and make a lot of sales. A good recruiting call can take anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes. So we do, there again, a lot of listening as well as explain the program. We explain to them all the ancillary services that go along with the One Life, because most people that contact us, they've seen the language free leads, free E&O, and incentive programs. That's the big draw to the One Life organization. But we let them know about all the services at our corporate office and with their management, with the online training, the classroom training that they get, and it really helps pique their interest. We email all of our managers as you request an area to recruit in. We email the responses of the interested candidates directly to you for a follow-up. So after the pre-screen, we're going to forward that information to you for a follow-up call. We also have dispositions on a weekly basis, and we're getting back into doing this on a weekly basis. We send you an email directly with a spreadsheet for the ones we've sent to you, the interested candidates we've sent to you, and we ask that you fill out the disposition. Let us know where in the process, if they're not interested, if they are interested, and where they are in the process. This helps us, put a metric to our success, and it's not just the success we're looking for, but what works and what doesn't work. Where do we need to spend our money? Where do we need to cut back money on recruiting avenues? After a recruit has passed our test and yours, it's time to start the contracting process. You should still be the person that this recruit goes to. You are their manager. Make sure to equip them with the contracting process, the e-learning site, and agent hub. Make sure that you have explained everything about our system. Get them plugged in immediately. I'm going to be emailing sheets this afternoon as well with all the different ways to stay plugged in through our social media, conference calls, this new text service. We're going to create a new sheet with all of Derek Moore's avenues of staying plugged in, and I'll get those in your inbox as well today, so that you can share this with your new recruits. Get them plugged in as soon as possible. Hold their hand and make them feel part of the family. That is one major attribute to our atmosphere that has caused success, is the family-style atmosphere. Mr. Parker opens a home to his doors, the doors to his home, rather, every 60 days, and about 60 to 80 people invade his house, have dinner with him, and they feel like they're part of the family. Just the little things that go along with the program. Now, with that being said, once they've said, okay, I'm interested, what do I need to do next? That's where you get them plugged in. You help them with their contracting process and all the online training, creating their agent hub account. But Adam Stewart and his staff is here to assist you with getting your new agents plugged in and getting them to making money. Adam, I introduced him just a couple of weeks ago on our conference call. He did the devotion for us. He's been with One Life for 3.5 years. He spent 3 years as our Meridian call center manager. He now serves as director of agent onboarding and retention. And Adam and his staff can play a major role in helping you and your agents, or your agents, complete the critical process steps from, yes, I'm interested in the opportunity, to generating that income. And that's the gap that you want to bridge quickly. The hurry up and wait process is very difficult in the insurance industry. So getting them plugged in, getting them through the process, getting them to making money, that's where Adam comes in. And Adam's with me here now, and he's going to talk to you about how he can help.
Thanks, David. As David mentioned, our sole role is to help managers and to help new agents. Obviously, it's born out of a need to help new agents go through the various hoops that have to be gone through in order to start writing business. One Life prides itself on exceptional service, and we don't like hearing when we've had new recruits or new people come on board with us, and they did not have a good initial experience going through that process for whatever reason. So that's a little bit of what this department was born out of, was a need to make sure that we are offering the best service that we can offer to new agents, and to help our managers who in most cases are personal producers, to assist you guys in building your teams and getting these people started as quickly and as painless as possible. So our job is not to take your role as manager. As David mentioned a minute ago, as a manager, you are that agent's first point of contact. From my own experience and from discussions I've had with various managers and agents, if they don't feel like their manager is working hard for them, they're not too eager to work hard for their manager. So as a manager, you want your guys to know that you're doing everything you can to help. And we are here to help you do that. So several things that we're working on. We're redesigning our new agent onboarding manual. Obviously, many of you know the different processes. There's three main systems that new agents have to be registered for, one being Agent Tracks, which is where we do our contracting. Then there's One Life University, which has our training modules in there. Obviously, the two that are required are the Agent Hub login training and the Agent Hub training. And then the third piece is Agent Hub, which we know is where we get our leads from. So the agent manual walks a new agent through those three processes step by step by step by step. There's also a lot of other information in there, such as how do I get a One Life email address? How do I submit my business once I start writing business? How do I get business cards? A company contact list. If I'm having a problem with licensing, who do I contact? It gives their name, their email, and their phone number. So there's a lot of good information in the manual. One problem, just in the short time that I'm already seeing with new agents, is however it comes about that they decide, you know what, I want to come work here. They're sent either paper contracts or they are sent a link to Agent Tracks to fill out contracts. When they call us with a problem, they've never heard of One Life University. They don't know anything about Agent Hub. They know about free leads, but they don't know anything about Agent Hub. Well, obviously, before you can set up an Agent Hub account, you have to complete the One Life University training. So what I beg of you guys is, here shortly, hopefully before this week is over, we're going to send out an email to just about everybody we've got in the system, and we're going to email them this new agent manual. So as you're out doing your own recruiting, talking to people that you just encountered throughout the day or whatever you're doing, and you got someone who wants to come on board with us, please forward this email to them with the new agent guide. I would encourage you guys to be familiar with it, to look through it, to be knowledgeable of what's in there, and to be knowledgeable of the process. But if they receive this guide, most people should be able to go through that process and be able to complete it without any problems. Another thing that we encounter that poses a problem for us is agents who are just not computer savvy. That is a problem for us because those guys need somebody to sit down beside them and walk through that process with them. I can't do that over the phone. We can try to explain things to them, but if we've got an individual who is just not computer savvy, they are going to get a bad taste in their mouth for One Life, and they're going to be frustrated simply because of difficulties of navigating through the process. That's where we rely on the manager to step in and get beside that person and help them accomplish that task. Now, obviously, if you've got a recruit that's halfway across the country, that poses a problem for all of us. And I don't have a good solution to that other than we need to maybe be selective of who we bring on board in making sure that if we're going to recruit someone long distance where we're not going to be able to get beside them, we need to make sure that they're computer literate enough to be able to go through a Word document select links, click links, and go to those web pages and input the information. Unfortunately, we have some software where we can remote into their computer, and we've tried that on a couple of occasions. Once or twice it was successful. One time the individual couldn't get to the website and figure out what to click to download the software on his computer. So when we are at that point, there's nothing that we can do for them. So we encourage you to make sure that when you are working with new people who you're not going to be able to get down to sit beside that person, make sure that they are computer, they don't have to be a computer expert, but proficient enough to go to websites, to understand what Microsoft Word is and how to follow links and things of that nature. Another thing that we encourage you to do is when you work with a new agent, make sure they understand our lead system and how that applies to a new agent. A new agent does not start out with A leads. They're going to start out with 75 B leads and 50 C leads. And in order to get those, once they go through the process, they do contracting, they do agent onboarding, they do One Life University, and then they set up their Agent Hub account. They just can't immediately go in and start pulling leads. You as the manager have to request to the lead department to give those folks leads. And what that does for us is that verifies that they have gone through the process. You, their manager, have made sure that they know what they're doing. They're prepared to go out and sell. Therefore, we need to give this person some leads. A lot of people aren't, maybe they just forget, but it's not reinforced to them, and they call us because they're frustrated. They're on the site and they can't get leads. So please make sure and specify to them that once they complete all the processes, they need to let you as the manager know, hey, I'm ready to pull leads. Then that triggers a phone call to us to let us know that we need to give that person credits. That being said, again, please explain the lead system to them because they're quite unhappy when we explain to them that they're not getting A leads on their first pull. And many people want to know that ahead of time. So please make sure and just do right by that agent. Let's make sure that we give them all the information up front so that they can make a good decision as to whether or not this is a good company for them to be partnered up with. Let's not give them any surprises on the back end. Moving forward from the agent manual, as I mentioned, hopefully you'll be getting that before the end of the week, but that's going to be a short-lived document as the new agent core system is rolled out. Obviously, this whole process is going to be slightly changed, and it's going to be changed for the better, so it's going to be a lot simpler. We will be developing a new guide once that system is put in place. But one thing that we've got aspirations for is to completely get away from a separate guide. We want to link either directly from the One Life website or from the agent core site, a link that's basically just called agent onboarding. Any new agent, you send them that link. Again, they got to be somewhat computer savvy, but you send them that link. When they go in that link, it'll say, how do I get contracted? You click on the link, it takes you directly to Agent Tracks. You put in your information, you get your contracts. The second thing would be, how do I get leads? Well, it's going to direct them to One Life University and say, complete this training first. Once they finish that, it's going to take them back to the home screen and say, now to get your leads, go to this site. You click on the link, takes you directly to Agent Hub. You put in your information, set up your account. So we want to have everything based off of just basically confined to one space where they can do everything they need to do from that one site. We want to have links to how do I get business cards? How do I get a One Life email address? Click on the link, takes you to the site. You put in your request for email address. Things as simple as, what is my manager's referrer ID? Right now, if you don't give them that information, they are stuck at the very first step. And we understand that oftentimes you might be in the car, and maybe you can't answer your phone right now, but that agent is sitting in front of his computer excited to get contracting, and he doesn't know what to do because he's stuck without that number. Right now, they have to call into the home office, and we have several different people who can look that number up for them, but we want a link on that site that says, what is my manager's referrer ID? They can search for their manager, get that number, put it in, and continue on with the process. So we do have some improvements that are coming with the system that, everything is geared to be more proficient, more user-friendly. So those things will hopefully be on the horizon very soon. As far as the retention piece, there's two different components to that. There's agent retention and business retention. Obviously, we're hoping to improve agent retention by doing a better job on the front end, getting people contracted and going through that process that we just discussed. We do make phone calls to agents. When we get a list from a carrier, we're working on one right now that American Amicable sent to us of contracted agents that have not submitted business within the past 6 to 12 months. So we're going through that list of names. We're getting their phone number. We're calling them, seeing if there's anything that we can do to help them, and just trying to get some information as to why they've quit submitting business. Oftentimes we find out that it's just a life threw them a curve and they got off track and they're ready to get back started. In that case, we look up who their manager is and we email that manager and give a phone call and say, hey, we just spoke to this agent that's in your downline. They're ready to get back started. Can you reach out to them and get them back going? So those communications have already started for some of you, and as time goes on, more and more of you will see those as well. Secondly, we will be working on an exit interview. When we have agents who leave, and we've still got to come up with exactly how we get that information, because some people will stay in the system as contracted, but they are gone from us. They're not submitting business. They're submitting business with maybe somebody else, but they still are active in our system. So we're going to be trying to figure out how to determine who is not with us anymore, and just having a simple exit interview to find out why they left. And through that, hopefully affect some change as to what we can do to improve. I can tell you right now that oftentimes a lot of what we encounter with people who get contracted and never turn in business is because they got a contract and then they felt like they were lost. They didn't know what to do next, had difficulty communicating with their manager, getting their manager. We're going to hope to fill in that gap a little bit and help in that area. But again, I stress to you guys so much that these new folks that come on board, they need to feel connected to who their manager is. We're here to help you in that endeavor. But please make every effort to make sure they're in the loop. And as you recruit new people, get them that new agent manual. One last thing, and then I'm going to conclude with my part. We're also working on business retention. We're particularly interested right now in business that is submitted that is not paid. It ends up in the portal being listed as pending. What we're doing in those instances is we're contacting the carrier, finding out why that application has not been approved yet, and then we're forwarding that information to the writing agent. Now, obviously, you can find that information in your portal yourself, but we're hoping to just make it a little bit easier for you, get that information to you, and hopefully if it's something that can be corrected easy, get that done, get that business issued so you get paid, and your placement numbers are better. We're going to be working on some placement and some persistency things as well as time goes on. So obviously, as time goes on, you'll be getting more information on that. But bottom line is we're here to help you. We're here to help new agents, and if there's anything that we can do at any point, please don't hesitate to contact us. Myself, and I have two other ladies that are working with us to help you guys make this transition for new agents as easy as possible.
Thank you very much, Adam. As you can see, we're from the finding your recruits to walking them all the way through the process. One Life is here to help you build your sales organization. I started off by mentioning warm market recruiting. That's a key piece of a recruiter is finding folks that you can see face to face and smile at, that you can bring on board. But we can be here to assist and push folks your way as well. We're going to give it a few minutes. We're going to open the lines up now for anyone who wants to ask a question. You can hit *6 to unmute yourself if you have a question for me or for Adam Stewart. All right, we're going to end the awkward silence. Adam, what's a great way to contact you if somebody has questions for you in your department in agent onboarding?
Yeah, somebody.
Oh, is there a question?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Hey,
Adam
good morning.
Kane.
Adam
Kane from Asheville, North Carolina.
Hey, Mr. Kane.
Is there a way for us as managers to get the agent on board training manual and tell us where to go to get it?
Yeah, I mentioned earlier in the call, right now we made there was one in existence, but it was not being utilized by everyone. It was outdated. So we've gone to that manual. We basically revamped it, made it current, added a little more detail. It is lengthy, but it's lengthy because right now there's a lengthy process to go from getting contracted to getting leads. Right now it's being reviewed by our administration. Hopefully by the end of the week we'll have that approved, and what we're going to do is we're going to send that out in an email. It's simply going to be a PDF document. We're going to email that out to everyone in our system with an email address. So if you have a One Life email address, or even we have another one that's field agents, any email address we've got in the system, we're going to send that out. So then you'll have it. You can save it to your computer, or you can just flag that email, and as you work with new guys, you can forward that email to them and say, hey, here's our new agent guide. Open this up. It's going to walk you through the process of getting contracted, getting registered for One Life University, setting up your Agent Hub account. If you have any questions, give me a call. So, yeah, we're hoping that everybody's going to get that email before the week's over.
Good morning. This is Bridget with the Miami team. How's everybody doing this great morning?
Doing great,
Very
Bridget.
good.
Thank you.
Excellent. One of my agents have a question. You were mentioning about the $100 gas card and where they needed to text it to, but they didn't get exactly what number should they text it or email it to.
They should text the text message itself is going to be OLA. So the body of the message is OLA, and the number is 51660. That would go in where the phone number would be, 51660.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so very much.
All right, you're very welcome. Thank you, Bridget. Any other questions before we wrap up the call? We're kind of running a few minutes past, but if there's a question, we'd love to answer it. All right, folks. Well, thanks you again for joining us. And Mr. Kane, if you're still on, you can shoot an email to astewart@onelifeamerica.com just to make sure that he has your email address. That's ASTEWART@onelifeamerica.com. That goes for anybody on the call. Matter of fact, just to make sure that you get that agent guide as soon as it is available. Thanks for joining us again, and remember that good things don't come to those who wait. Good things come to those who pursue their goals and dreams that they believe in. Thanks, and have a great day.